Hello, good evening and welcome to A Chat with Poppy Scotland. It's fair to say we've had some pretty famous people here in the studio, but for this show I think we've topped it all. For tonight I have the honour of an exclusive interview with someone who has been famous around the world for as long as almost anyone can remember. Someone we all recognise but just need to know a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miss Poppy Scotland.
Hello, how do you?
Welcome, Poppy Scotland, and thanks for taking time out from your busy schedule for coming to see us.
No problem at all. Call me Poppy.
Thank you, Poppy. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, you comfy? Good. Let's start when we saw you last November, when you seemed to be absolutely everywhere. And I think we have some photos of that just now that we can show.
Ah. Thank you, thanks.
So that was Poppy Day last year then. Must be great to have a day named after you.
Well, you can call it that. Some people do call it Poppy Day, but actually its name is Remembrance Day or Armistice Day on the 11th of November, which is a very busy day for me and for our team of volunteers who all help out. Poppy Saturday is the nearest Saturday to Poppy Day, and that's the busiest time of year for all our volunteers.
So what exactly is Remembrance Day or Armistice Day?
Well, Remembrance Day is on the 11th of November every year, and that's because the First World War ended on the 11th of November in 1918. The war officially ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, so it's nice and easy to remember. So people all around the world wear a poppy on that day as a way of remembering people who've served in every war, not just the First World War. And on that day, they also hold a 2-minute silence at 11 a.m. as a way to stop and think about people who have served. And as I say, it's not just me. There's a whole team of volunteers involved. Poppy sellers, people who deliver the poppies, all giving their time for free to make it happen.
So it's not just one day a year at work then?
I wish.
But on a serious note, with all this organisation and hard working and selling poppies, you must raise a lot of money for incredibly worthy causes.
Well, yes, that's an important point. That's the whole point. The money that we raise by selling poppies helps ex-servicemen and women and pilots and soldiers and sailors, all those people who've been hurt in some way while serving their country. Now that might have been in conflict, or it might just have been while they were doing their job. So Remembrance Day, the whole big day, it's basically about remembering, to remember what those people have done for us.
And you've been doing this job for a long time. Am I allowed to mention how old you are?
No.
She's about 90. Can you believe that?
Well, that's my secret out now, isn't it?
Well, look, I'm just saying, I've been only doing this job for a few years and fancy a rest sometimes. Don't you ever think of retiring? I mean, 90. How do you stay so fresh?
Goodness, no, me retire. No, I've still got a lot of plans for the future. And basically what I want to do here today is remind people that it's easy to think of war as a black and white movie that happened a long time ago. But the sad reality is that there are still many men and women across the world who are involved in conflict right now. The soldiers, the sailors, the Air Force. And what we need to do is remember them and raise money to help them for when they get home. So, it might seem that I'm a bit past it, but my work is still really important.
Maybe you could tell us where you were born. It was abroad, wasn't it?
That's right. It was in a field near Flanders, in Belgium to be precise. The idea for poppies came from the poppies that grew on the battlefields in the First World War. So I was born in Flanders, but I was raised in the Lady Hague Poppy Factory in Edinburgh.
Ah, good. I was hoping you had mentioned that because I think we have some photos of that just now.
Ah, that's me and the family. All those men working there, they're ex-servicemen too, so that's another way how we help people out. And I can beat them all at snooker, but don't tell them I told you that.
And you mentioned family there. You have brothers and sisters?
Oh yeah, I have 5 million.
5 million?
I know, it seems a bit mad, doesn't it? But those men make 5 million new poppies every year. They also make them to go on wreaths, the ones that you see all year round. I also have millions of cousins in countries all over the world. But you know, poppies aren't all the same. In England, for instance, the English poppy has 2 petals and 1 leaf.
Well, now I see why it's not just one day a year.
Exactly. And that's just one piece of the jigsaw. There's all the people who deliver the poppies, all the people who sell the poppies, the shops, the schools, all sorts of organisations, and all volunteers, like I said.
And what ambitions do you have for the future?
Well, my main ambition is to just keep spreading the word. And I like to keep myself young by keeping up to date with technology. Do you know you can even plant a poppy online now?
Ah, 21st century poppy.
Absolutely, you've got to move with the times. If you go onto our website, there's a poppy quiz, there's poppy movies, and there's loads of cool stuff that you can surf onto, as the youngsters say. It's www.poppyscotland.org.uk/education.
I hope all our viewers will be able to visit there whenever they get a chance. Unfortunately though, I think we're about running out of time, so I should just say good...
Hang on, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
When is Remembrance Day?
The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
Very good, you have been listening.
Okay, we better wrap things up before Poppy takes my job. All that remains for me to say is thank Miss Poppy Scotland very much for taking time out from her busy schedule and to say thank you for watching.